Don't worry, people. We can breathe. We can breathe because the Raptors win 105-102 over the Denver Nuggets. Detroit. I don't know why I keep thinking Detroit for some reason. I guess because we beat them the first game. I don't know. We beat the Denver Nuggets 105-102 and are now 2-1 on the young year. But this was a tale of two games. It was very weird. Listen to the first half. Raptors win the first quarter 33-24. Raptors win the second quarter 29-25. Great. You're up by a sizable margin going into the half. Third quarter, you lose by 9. Fourth quarter, you lose by 1. Whoa. It was a really crazy one, but the big first half lead, I guess, was enough for the last 5 or so minutes push was all the Raptors needed to pull out the win. And Denver has not been a team that we have been able to beat over the past few years or so. They've been a pesky team that we just can't find a way to beat. But we found a way today. So let's talk a little bit. On the day that the Raptors shot pretty well. 47% from the field, 41 for 88. Pretty good if you ask me. I mean, 47, if you can hover that, you're doing pretty darn good. Problem was the three-pointers, though. They only shot 25%, 4 for 16, whereas the Denver Nuggets shot 9 of 21 for 41% from three-point land. That was higher earlier in the game. That was a big part of why they did so well. Rebounds, we lost by 3, but Denver is a team that is a very, very good and strong rebounding club, and they showed that today. But the Raptors, the big part, I'm going to get to that right now, is the offensive rebounds in the first quarter even. Jonas was huge on the offensive glass. Siakam was big on the offensive glass. We ended up 11-11 in offensive boards on the night, but most of those I would say are in the first quarter, if not half of them. You can't really say half of 11, but you know what I mean, 6 or 5. You could say would be in the first quarter, and they were big ones. And that's, again, the first quarter, first half is why the Raptors won today. And, of course, Kyle Lowry being Kyle Lowry and being super clutch, that as well. Also, Raptors had 16 assists to the Nuggets 14, so they were sharing the ball a little bit, looked pretty good. They also had 7 steals on the night. I like it. But the one thing I think the reason this team won, the turnovers. They only had 7 turnovers all game. Whereas they had, North 10. I know that for a fact, against Cleveland. They couldn't stop turning over the basketball. The Raptors ended up with 18 turnovers in that game. I mean, that's ridiculous. And they had 7 today. So that was a huge thing of why they won today. So let's talk about some individual players, because there's some guys that are like, okay. And there was a lot of talk in the offseason. Is DeMar DeRozan worth the max contract? Is he going to live up to that? He signed the contract, signed the max deal, or signed the big deal at least. And then in his first 3 games, I mean, he has been absolutely unbelievable in the first 3 games. He had 40 in the first game. He had 32 against Cleveland, and then 33 tonight against Denver. He is doing very well, and he's shooting at good percentages too. At one point, he was shooting 13 for 22. Obviously, that changed as the fourth quarter ran on. That was all in the fourth quarter, by the way. That was in the fourth quarter. And he's been really good, but you're going to go through those slumps eventually. Or are you, right? We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Take it game by game. He looked very, very good tonight. JV, he had an iffy first 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, down the stretch, he was very, very big on the glass. Ended up with 9 rebounds, 12 points, and an assist. JV, we're looking for double-doubles. He pretty much had one today. I liked his late game stuff in the first 3 quarters, but nonetheless, he did all right. Damari Carroll hit a couple threes. Siakam, again, very aggressive, very active on the glass. That's what we like to see. And Kyle Lowry, guys. He found his stroke today. At one point, he was shooting 50%, 9 of 18. He ends up with 29 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. A very, very good number for him after a really tough first couple games. He needed that. The Raptors needed it. And there we go. Terrence Ross, I thought he was efficient in his minutes. 15 minutes, 7 points, 2 boards. But his shot selection was good. He wasn't just catching and shooting. He did a couple times, but that's Terrence Ross. It's going to happen. It's like J.R. Smith. Don't shoot threes. Yeah, you're going to shoot them. Terrence Ross is going to catch and shoot. We know that. And he did it again today, but I was impressed. I thought he did well. And the whole thing about Norman Powell getting playing time, he plays 2 minutes, but he gets 2 points and a rebound. That's not enough, to keep playing. So that's really all we can really say about that game. The Raptors grinded that out, hung on for dear life at the end, but they ended up with the win nonetheless. We'll take it. And a lot of chirping from DeMar. We saw that a little bit there. But, come on, it's friendly play, right? Kind of, not really. So, moving on. Wednesday, November 2nd. That's right, guys. We are in November now. Baseball, Blue Jays season, has come and gone. Leafs and Raptors are in full swing now. Leafs are 9 games in. Raptors are going into their, 4th game now. They are in Washington, the capital of the United States, and they're playing the Wizards. So, it's going to be a good game, though, because the Wizards are a good team. As much as they didn't make the playoffs last year, and they're 0-2 to start the year so far, they're a good team in my eyes. John Wall, Bradley Beal, Gortat always rips us up. So we're going to have to see what happens. I'm really excited to see where this game is going to go. I hope we get the win and go 3-1 on the year. Let's get her going. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you guys liked the video and you liked the end result of the ball game, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you guys are excited for all the content coming up. I don't know why my nose all of a sudden is just coming on out. And hit the subscribe button if I didn't say it already. Comment down below what you guys thought of the game. Who'd you like? What do you think of DeMar DeRozan so far the year? Kyle Lowry's game. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll talk to you guys. Well, you know what? We'll talk to you guys Wednesday, Raptors against the Wizards. We'll see you then.